Explore your emotions. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You will discover that the deeper you go inside of your emotions, the richer your life experience will be. When you feel an emotion, you have a few tendencies that come up within you. If it's a good feeling emotion, you tend to focus on that which is eliciting the good feeling emotion. If it is a bad feeling emotion, you tend to go to your head and try to uncover why you feel so bad, or you try and fix a situation that has you feeling so bad. If instead you become primarily feeling in your approach to life, you would find that every emotion has much more depth to it than you've allowed yourself to explore. In the exploration of just how deep you can go, you'll feel empowered. You'll feel energy surging through you, and you will feel that your ability to create an emotional state of being is much more significant than your ability to create a circumstance in your life. Once you create something for yourself that you wanted to create, you are almost immediately on to the next creation. You wonder what else you can do, what else you can have, and you can spend very little time exploring the actual manifestation. It's really not about the manifestations. They are like your props in the bigger story of the evolution of you. The evolution of you includes a mastery of your emotions, but you cannot master that unless you are willing to spend some time with them. And that's the tricky part, isn't it? Some emotions you simply don't want to feel. Other emotions seem to be fleeting, like you cannot possibly grab onto them. As you feel into the nuances within an emotional state, you will recognize how much more clarity you can have in your entire life than you have if you have sat and thought about your life for hours and hours on end. Just with your willingness to feel, you open up doors, you encounter new possibilities, and as we have said, you empower yourselves as creator beings. It is only by your mastery of feeling states that you will ever achieve mastery over the physical reality. So spend some more time with your emotions. Give your emotions a voice and explore their depth. We promise you the results will blow you away. Raising your vibration. In your attempts to bring yourself into a higher frequency state, you often employ mantras and visualizations. These are meant to trigger the higher vibrational states within you. And certainly you can have a very high vibrational experience with a visualization, a fantasy, or a mantra that you repeat, and that is self-affirming. We want you to use all the tools that you have at your disposal, including actions to raise your vibrations. So we are not about to rain on anyone's parade here. What we do want to accomplish in this transmission is to convince you that the raising of your vibration is something that happens nearly automatically when you go within and you put your attention on that particular desire. Certainly, when you are in a very low frequency state, you have your work cut out for you. It is going to be a gradual process of releasing the lower frequency energies and allowing in the higher frequency ones. So you may not see or feel the effect of your attempts right away, but this is where trust comes in, and this is where discernment comes in as well. Trust us when we tell you that your desire to raise your vibration has an instantaneous effect. It puts your attention on that which you desire to experience. And we also want to encourage you to use your discernment to feel your way into the higher frequency ranges. You may have been taught the mantra your way or think your way in some way to the higher vibrational states of being, and again, we want you to use all the tools at your disposal. We just want you to recognize when something is effective and when it is not. So repeating a mantra without checking to see whether it's actually affecting your vibration is an exercise in futility. A visualization in a state of anxiety is not getting you closer to that which you are visualizing about. Tuning yourself to a frequency you are offering is a talent, it is a skill, and it is an art form. So use everything at your disposal to get you better attuned to whatever frequency you're offering, and most of all, listen. Listen to the subtleties that are being offered, feel them, acquaint yourself with them. Get accustomed to recognizing when you are moving in the right direction vibrationally, and again, trust that your efforts are not in vain. You are always heard by the universe. You are always supported when you are raising your vibration. And every moment of every day you are surrounded by higher frequency energies that are encouraging you to let go of what no longer serves you, to let go of that which is low frequency, and to let in the fifth dimensional energies. Mastering emotions. There is an awakening that occurs within you every time you become aware of an emotion that you are feeling. The awakening occurs within you to summon forth that which you need to integrate, no matter what the emotion is. Whether you consider it to be positive or negative, integrating it is a key component in moving forward in your shift in consciousness. You are integrating that which you consider to be good and that which you consider to be bad, and you are doing so because you are ascending with your whole selves, not just the fragments that you like. Energy moves in patterns, and the patterns that are formed will always enable you to restructure your energetic body. You are restructuring and reforming those energetic bodies of yours by accessing emotion. The emotions are moving, and it is your job to allow them to move. It is your job to be the conduit for the emotions, the experiencer of the emotion. And as you play that role, you integrate parts of yourself. Again, some of these parts you would consider to be less than desirable, and others are parts that you've been seeking out. Giving yourselves the experience of being whole and being complete is one of the best experiences you can have as a physically focused human. But it doesn't end there. It never ends. Soon you will be integrating fifth-dimensional energies. You will be accessing higher frequency vibrations, and you will be connecting to aspects of yourself that have been fifth-dimensional in other lifetimes. You are constantly accessing the energies that are necessary to move you along. Some of those energies feel good to you, and some of these energies do not. When you let go of your judgment of what you are experiencing, and when you release your judgment of yourself for experiencing it, you can move through these emotional states quickly, and you can prolong the emotional states you want to prolong. You are mastering feeling, mastering integration, and mastering vibration, because all of these elements are assisting you in becoming the conscious creator beings that you always have been, but are still awakening to that realization now. Your self-worth. Recognizing your value to this world, to the universe, and to source energy is one of the hardest things that you do. It is hard because you are told from a very early age what it is that you can do to prove your worth. You are told what the rules are. You are shown displeasures and dissatisfaction, and even punishment when you don't follow these rules. And you are told about being rewarded for good deeds by Santa Claus and God. So your value is conditional and largely determined by the things that you do, say, and do not do or do not say. Very few individuals are raised in an environment where their value is a given. And so when you come to adulthood, you will find yourself floundering a bit, not knowing what to do, not knowing how you fit in. This old programming comes up and tries to convince you that you are only as good as what you produce. You all need to get past this one way or another. The easiest way for you to get past this is to recognize when you are doing it to yourself. Recognizing when you are only valuing yourself when you accomplish something, and then decide that you're not going to do that anymore. Decide instead to value yourself because you are an extension of source energy. You're an unconditional love, and you are unique. No one and nothing can ever take these truths away. If you're a good carpenter, and that is where you draw your value from, and you have an accident and you can no longer do what you do with a hammer and a nail, then your sense of self-worth is in jeopardy. So we'd rather see you place your self-worth within yourself in a place that is untouchable, that cannot be swayed or diminished in any way. We invite you to value yourself simply because you exist, and we also invite you to feel for what value you bring by accessing your energy within yourself and feeling for your uniqueness. Feel for the source energy within you, and when you can't, realize that it doesn't mean you are somehow less than source energy, or that you are blocked from source energy. It just means you're having a hard time. And in these moments, if you truly value yourself, you'll be kind and compassionate to yourself. And this is also what we want for you. You are enough. Often you wonder whether or not you're doing enough. Now, you can wonder this in any number of arenas in your life. You can wonder if you are doing enough for your business or to get that promotion at work, and you can wonder if you're doing enough to be a spiritual person. You can wonder if you're doing enough to be of service to others. All of the doing in the world cannot compensate for a feeling within yourself. Usually that feeling comes from experience that have led you to believe that you're not good enough, not worthy of receiving, and therefore you do. In some cases, you overdo it in an attempt to compensate for the feeling within you. And so, whatever it is that you could accomplish through action will only give you a fleeting sense of that worthiness. You will only appreciate yourself for a few moments before you give yourself another task, and then you'll operate under the belief that you're only as good as your last success or the last good deed. There's no reason, of course, to prove yourself to anyone, physical or non-physical, human or deity. No one is keeping score, and your doing is never going to compensate. It's never going to get you to where you want to go because that's not what doing was designed for. We suggest that you build yourselves up energetically, that you focus on how much energy you can run through yourselves. how much love you can feel, how much appreciation you can have for what you've already accomplished, and then let your actions come from all the energies you are accessing. Let your actions be a continuum of your feeling, rather than an attempt to overcome a feeling. We see so many of you hoping that your actions will be enough, and we would love to see more of you enjoying the actions that you take because they are actions that you generally want to take. We would love to see more of you being authentic with yourselves about what it is that you truly want to do. And then in the following through with that action, you will undoubtedly summon more energy, more inspiration, and more of an ability to love and appreciate yourself just as you are. Energetic experiences. Before you extend an invitation to an experience that you want to have, you feel into that experience energetically. You do this whether you are aware of it or not. But in order to be certain that it is in fact an experience you want to have, you do feel your way into it energetically. You give yourselves a sneak preview of what that experience will be like when you physically manifest it in your reality. This means that even if to your knowledge you've never experienced something that you desire, you do actually have a sense of what it will be like. You do have the blueprint for that experience. Once you obtain the blueprint through the energetic projection, you have a choice. You can continue to pursue that particular experience, or you can decide that it's not quite right for you. When you decide that you still want to have that experience physically, you often start to think about how you're going to make it happen. And then you'll take actions that you also believe are bringing you closer to what you want to experience. But how often are you going to back to the energetic experience of that desire? How often are you continuing to feel into it? We would like to suggest that you do more of this. We would like to suggest that you relax into the energetic experience of that which you desire. Let go of your thoughts, which are usually just limiting the number of ways in which you can experience it, and hold off on your actions until you are absolutely certain that the actions you are taking are not only bringing you closer to that desire, but are also actions that you generally want to take. We suggest that you get more curious about what the experience is like energetically. This will also help you to sculpt the experience into the precise measurements that you ultimately want. There's always more for you to experience than you imagine, and you are always expanding. When you give birth to the initial desire, you only have access to part of what you actually want to experience. But when you dip your toe in energetically over and over, you can experience all of it, and you can experience it with all of you, with your expanded self. And it is ultimately what you all want. You all want to bring your whole selves to every experience that you have. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.